we are going to actually now have an interview for you. Really good segment coming up for you now. As many of you know, Manufacturing Day is produced by the National Association of Manufacturers with contributions and support from the Hollings Manufacturing Extension Partnership, or the MEP, which is a program within NIST. So on this day in particular, we're very pleased to steal a few moments with Carroll Thomas.
Literally steal them.
With Carroll Thomas, who is the director of the MEP program. She joins us now via Skype. Ms. Thomas, thanks for joining us so much today.
Oh, you're welcome. I hope you can hear me. I had to go to Plan B because I couldn't do it from my car. So hopefully you can hear me well and not hear a lot of the background noise here.
No,
I'm
you're
here
great.
in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. So
That's right. I mean, we should say that we really wanted to get Carroll on the show because she is the director of the MEP, but she was obviously Manufacturing Day is a big day for the MEP, and Carroll is out and about, and she's managed to squirrel away some time for us before she gets on a plane. So I believe she's somewhere in a car park somewhere.
Yeah.
yes, actually, I'm in the airport, the Phoenix airport right now. I'll explain later. But thanks, Dirk. I really appreciate you having me on the show today. It's such an exciting day. I just came from the Arizona Chamber of Commerce's event on Manufacturing Day, and they had almost 200 manufacturers participating and enjoying and listening, finding out about all of the things that are available.
Well, Carroll, let's start a little bit with some brief background about how and why Manufacturing Day came about. So maybe you can kind of run us through how we came to Manufacturing Day.
Sure. I actually remember in 2012 when we first heard about this. A couple of groups, the Fabricators and Manufacturers Association International, contacted us and said, "Oh, would you like to participate in it?" We thought it was great. For us, Manufacturing Day is every day. But back in 2012, the National Association of Manufacturers, we got involved, and also the Fabricators and Manufacturers Association International, and the Manufacturing Institute. We were able to, sorry about that, work together
Live television.
Set up and get many manufacturers. I believe in that first year, we got about 400 manufacturers available around the country. And originally it was set up to give people an idea of what's happening now in manufacturing. All of the great, exciting things in advanced manufacturing. It's not what you thought. It's not dark and dirty anymore. Now it is high tech. Now it is it encompasses a lot of things that you hadn't thought about before. Additive manufacturing, all the 3D printing things, new lightweight materials. It's just so exciting. I can't begin to tell you how exciting it is.
Well, how do the various MEPs around the country help to facilitate and promote Manufacturing Day events?
Well, what we try to do is to get people to understand what is happening in manufacturing. So the MEP centers all around the country have open houses. They go to their clients, ask them if they're interested in setting up tours. We work with community colleges, local community colleges. We also work with universities and associations like chambers and various different local associations so that we can open up manufacturing plants so we can attract students, their parents, their neighbors, everybody to find out what's happening in manufacturing now.
And those of us within the industry, I think, know, we've come to realize, of course, that manufacturing in 2017 is an incredibly high-tech undertaking. But do you think that the general public still maybe thinks of it as a kind of a manual labor, dirt under the fingernails kind of business?
Yes, and I wish they could come and see something like the Jelly Belly factory in Bakersfield, California, where you go in and there's 500 people working side by side with robots who actually wave at you when you go into a tour. And it is the most exciting thing now to go into plants. To me, they're destination entertainment at this point because of all of the new types of manufacturing. You should see how food is made and other types of materials that you've never seen before. There's a manufacturer in not far from where I live that actually prints cars. Local Motors will print a car in 48 hours, And so those are the kinds of things that we'd like to get people excited about in terms of manufacturing today.
Yeah, I mean, and let's change gears here a little bit. I mean, the Manufacturing Extension Partnership, the MEP, as we said, is a program within NIST, which is a government program. So obviously it is paid for with taxpayer dollars. So what is the return that taxpayers are getting on their taxpayer dollars?
Well, and as a taxpayer myself, I am very keen on what do we do as a program to really make the most of those tax dollars. And what we did a study with the Upjohn Institute, and the Upjohn Institute took our impact numbers, and these are third-party survey numbers that we go out to our MEP centers and survey their clients 6 months to a year after they've been provided service, to ask them, did it make a difference? What did you see in cost savings? Did it create new sales for you? Do you have new investments in growing your business? What's happening? So we have this third party that comes together and gets this information, and that information was what we gave to the Upjohn Institute. And the Upjohn Institute used an economic model, the REMI model, to look at what is the return on this investment. And what they came back with was absolutely astounding. They told us that the $130 million worth of funding that's provided on the federal side, which is matched in the private, either state funds or program income or some of their areas, but that $130 million brought back nearly 9-to-1 in return on that investment. So over $1 billion in personal taxes of the people who work and get their salaries and pay the taxes come back into the coffers of this country because of the impact that we've created. These are jobs that are retained or created. These are new investments. All of this, almost 9-to-1 for every $1.
Wow.
$9 comes back in to take care of it. Also, they showed exactly, how much it brings to the GDP, what we did in terms of our impacts bringing to the GDP, which is $2.5 billion. And so this, to me, really proves that we're not just providing, going into a company and saying, here, do this, but we go back to them afterwards. And what difference does it make? And then we measure that to see what it adds to the economy of this country.
Wow.
Those of us here at Quality Digest, we're all taxpayers too. And we're also,
Yes.
of course, huge cheerleaders for U.S. manufacturing. We know that, of course, we've seen some of the preliminary federal budgets for the 2018 year. And we know that the MEP program is certainly under threat. So what are you hearing, and how can we maybe help support the continued federal funding for the MEP program?
Well, I've been with the program since 2000. And so I would say, fault is we're not letting enough people know exactly what we do and the value of it. So what I'm pushing as the director is to get out, reach more manufacturers, do more good, get more impacts. Because I believe that when manufacturers see, both big and small, but particularly small, see what we can do for them, then I don't think we will have any problems at all getting the funding that we need.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we only have a few more minutes, but in that time, can you just fill us in a little bit on the initiatives that NIST and the MEP program are undertaking to support maybe the next generation of manufacturing professionals?
Absolutely. Well, in terms of the professionals, there's many apprenticeship programs that in some of our MEP centers they actually offer, but in others they make connections. The one thing that I really would like for you to know about the MEP program is we actually are a part of the fabric of manufacturing in all 50 states of Puerto Rico. We don't just go in there and help the manufacturers, but we get involved with the other programs, local and other national programs that provide assistance to businesses that can, particularly for manufacturing, that include environmental sustainability, saving electricity, energy, and different kinds of things. And so what we see as a really important thing in terms of initiative is a couple of things. We need to have that workforce, the workforce that knows how to take advantage and how to have the capabilities to work in advanced manufacturing. And we see two areas as being very, very important. Everything is going to have to become digitalized. Everything will have to become digitalized because you're not going to be able to do the Internet of Things if you're not digital. And once you have that, or as part of planning to become digital, you must also be very careful, vigilant, and understand the importance of cybersecurity. Those two things we feel are the foundations of what's going to happen. And so in terms of apprenticeships to help get more people in what's happening in manufacturing, we're looking at programs with community colleges, with local associations, so that they prepare young people or people retiring or people interested in careers, not just jobs in manufacturing, but careers, long-term careers, that they understand digital manufacturing, that they understand how it is the platform for everything that's happening in manufacturing, and also the importance of good, sound cybersecurity practices. You have to do both at the same time. You will never be able to really get into all of the very, very exciting things that's happening in manufacturing if you don't understand those two foundational parts of it.
All right. Well, Carroll Thomas, Director of the Hollings Manufacturing Extension Partnership, thanks for taking the time this morning and parking your car and finding a place to to Skype into us. We really appreciate you kind of wedging us in.
I'm very creative.
You are creative.
Thank you,
Okay,
Carol.
thanks, Carol.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dirk. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All righty.
People go to any length to be on this show.
That's right. That's right. They do. Indeed, they do.